DJ all the way. Hey, everybody.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the stick. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
That's how we do, D. That's how we do. They don't want none of this.
On second down, Johnson. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
The first down carry here for Johnson. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And this one caught by Hunter over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Score. It's the fullback. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. And he wasn't blocking. You're running it there. To it.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They used their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. Able to slither by. Space to maneuver at the 40. And all the way up to the 45-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On the run, this is Hunt. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 9 carries, 68 yards.
And when I watch them operate, I see a unit that's playing with extreme confidence. Offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers. You see a group that wants their number 8 rusher in the league end up being in the top 5 before it's over.
All right, here we go. 319! 319!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That's Njoku over the middle. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Calling a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Dumps it off to Fournette. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. First carry for Leonard Fournette. Spinning away. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now let's look at David Johnson. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. On first down, it's Stafford. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. And nobody was open downfield there. Looked like a pretty clear throwaway.
Yeah, definitely was that. I'm wondering why there wasn't intentional grounding. I know they're saying there's a receiver there in the area. Those darn quarterbacks, they get away with everything.
Spoken like a true defensive back, Mr. Davis.
Did that come out?
It did.
Okay.
Now Stafford. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Out of the gun, Stafford. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoff. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season. Nice little nifty play for them there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get...
Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The intended target was Corey Coleman. And now it's 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
I can say this from experience, especially from a defensive back's perspective. There's not many things more terrifying than a toss sweep or a pitch play and all that beef out in front of the runner.
Yeah, I had an old coach say 3 words on those plays, toss or pitch. Set the edge. Heard him over and over.
A lot of times they roll the edge, and when they do...
And now a fumble. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And it's a short. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. From the gun, here's Stafford. He gets away from one. Over the middle, complete. It's Hunter. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a 1st down.
Pretty heavy traffic over the middle on that one, and somehow he emerged with the football. Way to possess it, despite all the extra contact and people around him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 2nd down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Here's Stafford now on second down. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to let this one go deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Hunter. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Now a handoff, Johnson. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Off of play action, here's Stafford. Got his man, it's Thomas. Touchdown, Denver. Demaryius Thomas, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are in for 6. And partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening, but they found the opening and exploited it.
Extra point good by Catanzaro, and that makes the score 14-7. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had it working pretty well here in this first half up until that last drive when he put it on the turf, Charles.
So I don't think they want to overreact to that fumble because now you've got a guy that's played so well, you don't want to take him and limit his effectiveness by worrying about it too much. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if we saw him next week at meetings. He'd have the football with him at all times.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Now, let's go. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw here. It's a 1st down and more for Gordon. Wide open receiver complete as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
A toss play to Hunt. He'll get 3 up to midfield. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A nice gain of 21 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
They go back to the ground now with Fournette. And out of bounds right around the 20. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Ryan Anderson in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tackle. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatter, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like that one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. Now, the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory.
T.Y. Hilton, nobody to beat. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Make that now 3 first-half touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. Give up any. On the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro, and that makes it a 21-10 game. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Carl Nassib. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90! Detroit! Detroit!
On play action, they'll throw. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Hurry up, here we go! 3-19!
Looking to throw. Going deep here for Landry. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry in the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns have cut it back within a score.
Terrific. Touchdown. I know we've got a game now.
Yeah, I think anytime you go into the second half down just 1 or 2 scores, you feel not where you want to be, but in a pretty good spot.
And I think for most teams, when they go into the half in this situation, it's not a lot of adjusting going on. It's much more, all right, guys, let's just play a little bit better than we did in the first half.
Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the 2nd half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the 1st half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the 2nd half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
No. Check. Patriot. Set.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the 1st down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school smash mouth football. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Hunt. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Set. Green 39.
They'll run again with Hunt. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And he's got his tight end in Njoku. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go. Here he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he's got his man Hilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throw left side complete. It's Hunter. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They go to Johnson again, and he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. A shotgun snap for Stafford. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Now Chandler Catanzaro for the field goal here. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps a deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. They run again with Hunt. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
It looks way too easy right now. 2 carries, 2 straight first down runs. The eyes are carrying the legs to the proper hole, but they're being created by an offensive line that has the leverage game going for them right now. Lower than the defensive front, creating space, and he's finding it in a big way. Gotta love what they're doing on offense right now.
Oh, look at the juke. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2019.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the fourth. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Leopard. Leopard. Gun. 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 Gun.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. That'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use it to pick off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Leopard. Leopard. Here we go now. Blue 90.
Here's Hunt.
Blue 90.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Now let's go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just dropped to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment, and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Shaquille Barrett in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Corey Coleman with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Stafford now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Johnson. He'll be stopped shy of the 45 despite a great move. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun, Stafford. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive the team towards a victory.
And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. Third down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
They pitch it out to Johnson. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Whenever I go to a team's practice facility and watch them work, I love to watch the defensive guys in what they call pursuit drills. The ball goes either towards them or away from them. How fast will they respond? On this play, the defensive end responded better than anyone and made a really nice play.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Johnson. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
On 3rd down, Johnson. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
Let's go!
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he takes this across the 15 to the 17. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up to throw. He finds an opening past the 40. That's complete. It's Gordon. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A very solid gain of 27.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
As I watch that play unfold, stereotypes are being broken left and right. As a corner, you're often back there guarding against the pass. But how about that diagnosis and read and getting into the backfield and making a nice play and a tackle?
They'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Corey Coleman, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Browns have moved out in front.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. He takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
Well, to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The Broncos on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. And incomplete here on third down.
So another big shot dodged there defensively. Now they're just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory. And I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. They'll look to throw. And this is caught. Demaryius Thomas. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Back to throw. Over the middle here, it's Hinton. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. He's back to throw. And is it a touchdown? No signal. No, they say incomplete. And that one incomplete as it stops the clock, reading 18 seconds to go. Back to throw. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Stafford. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time, because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Stafford. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. He had 3 touchdowns already, but won't get a 4th here. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
Now let's go!
Fournette, a first down carry. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. And they're really trying to build something. Beginning of the year, they said they thought 8 wins was a number to reach to call this season a success. And this win means they got there.
I like where you went with that.